threat of disaster is never pleasant.
Welcome to the Casual Preppers podcast.
These safety measures are essential.
The only place for prepping, survival, and entertainment.
This will be your source of survival instructions and information. Every member of the family must be coached in the business of survival.
Here are your hosts, Cam and Kobe.
Oh yeah, buddy.
This is it.
You're here.
100 miles.
Yeah. First 100 miles or 140 kilometers. I don't know how.
6,000 kilometers, I think, equals the same.
Can't do the math for you Canadians and UKers.
Everyone else in the world but us.
Yeah, it's true. I always just think about the Canadians. But all y'all,
So weird.
we're the only ones using
We're the
miles.
ones that, no, we're not doing that.
Nah,
we're going to do miles.
Screw y'all. But yeah, first 100 miles, right, Cam?
Yeah. So I think this episode will be interesting.
Yeah.
Just kidding. No, I think it's good. We talk a lot about, as soon as you make the decision to get out on the road.
Yeah.
What happens in that first 100 miles? It makes it like we're going to talk about like the things you need to be watching out for, looking for, deciding like, do I want to keep pushing through? Do I need to turn around now?
Mm-hmm.
Your vehicle matters, like what really is probably going to be your bug out vehicle.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that. So we'll go over this stuff through this episode. I hope it helps.
Sure.
But we never really talked about hitting the road, like that first little bit.
Like, what is it
like,
about?
what is it going to be like?
Yeah.
We don't know either.
We're just guessing.
But I bet you we're going to nail it down today.
We are. We're also going to nail down Battle Box, Cam. We actually have one we're going to talk about later. It is the monthly subscription box full of solid gear for adventure seekers, survivalists, outdoor enthusiasts, and casual preppers. Each month, Battle Box sends you the coolest selection of handpicked outdoor survival and everyday carry gear, all valued at far more than what you'd normally pay. You never know what's in the next box, but here's a sampling of what users received this month. The Haven Lantern 10,000. How about the Uberleben Stoker Stove, ultralight titanium? All of this badassness starts at just $34.99 per month. They've shipped over 1 million boxes, and they won Best Subscription Box of 2020. Our listeners get 15% off when you sign up at survive.battlebox.com/casualpreppers. Get your first battle box and 15% off at survive.battlebox.com/casualpreppers. I couldn't remember where my button was.
It's a mad, mad world.
I had to let it go for a little longer so I could find my button. I'm like, where the hell's the button?
I think this is actually like what percentage of titanium is in this Uberleben?
100%.
It's like a ring costs like $6,000, but
It's true, yeah.
you can make a whole grill out of it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know. Maybe just the outside.
who cares? Looks cool.
Doesn't matter.
Titanium always has a ring to it. You're like, I don't want. Speaking of rings,
Mine's made out of silicone, I think.
mine is, this o's super cheap, and it's the one I've worn.
Mine's
forever.
titanium, my real
I actually
one.
think this is just like stainless steel.
Is it?
How fancy?
What are you, poor?
Yeah. Actually, it's a pipe end.
Yeah.
Got done plumbing.
Mine's PVC. Just cut it right out the pipe.
It is cheap because I had a tungsten one that shattered, and I haven't
really?
ever bought a nice one since then.
Yeah,
this one's it's been great.
For a guy to have a nice one, it doesn't make any sense anyways.
I know a lot of people wear the silicone ones.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
it's so much easier, man.
It's not going to rip your finger off when you're out there working on a PTO.
Doing stuff.
Man
stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. You want me to go? You want to go first with Mad? Mad.
I'll go ahead.
Okay, you go ahead, buddy.
So, sometimes it feels like you're just going crazy. Well, guess what? There could be a reason behind that.
Really?
The Earth's vibrations might be frying your brain.
For real?
Yeah, so this is interesting.
Okay.
A weather watchdog, at me, I'll tell you one thing, has reported an uptick
I'm a weather watchdog.
in the Earth's hum-like heartbeat, raising concerns that it could be affecting people's brains. I always say this at work, like some of the patients that come in, I'm like, something's cooking their brains.
Yeah.
Full moon usually makes them crazier.
Yep.
But now, this makes sense. The Earth's hum is driving them mad.
Interesting.
Known as the Schumann resonance, this natural electromagnetic frequency creates waves in the gap between the Earth's surface and the ionosphere. We talked about that.
Sure.
The layer above the Earth that sunlight charges particles. That hum reverberates at 7.83 cycles per second, measured in hertz.
I knew it.
Okay?
Hurts your brain.
Exactly. That's
tell you that.
exactly what this watchdog has said.
Yeah, hurts that.
However,
A lot.
the online space weather tracking app Meteo Agent, I haven't looked at that one,
Me
has
neither.
recorded a spike in this pulse throughout February, which they say has the potential to cause problems. More headaches, dizziness, brain fog,
Maybe
all
not
that
sleeping?
stuff. Sleep
Well,
disturbance. Yeah.
Oh, son of a bee.
So maybe that was it. Maybe
Maybe that
you're
was it.
sensitive and
To the hum.
you're super connected to Earth.
I am kind of.
I know I have ringing all the time, and it's worse when I'm here. But anyways, I like to share news that you can't fix.
Good luck with that.
So
what are you going to do?
If maybe you just at least have something to explain your craziness.
That's right.
The Earth hum's doing it.
Babe, I can't help it. It's the Earth.
I bought it because the Earth got me crazy, and I figured I needed a new truck.
I need the new drum because the Earth humming weird. Okay.
You know what goes well with a hum? I don't know.
I don't know why that got me, but it did. You know what goes
Because
good
you
with
knew
a
I had
hum?
nowhere to go with it.
How's he gonna finish
You know what
this?
goes well with a hum?
Yeah.
I don't know. You want to go upstairs? You can go to bed.
Let me think. Okay, well, Cam, officials in Cuba reported an island-wide blackout on Monday of 11 million people. There was 2 ones. That's 11. I was going to say 1 million people. It's the Earth's home.
1.1.
Yeah, 11 million people as its energy and economic crisis deepen. Cuba has blamed its woes on a U.S. energy
I
blockade.
was going to say.
After President Trump in January.
I'm sure they're like, protect the president.
Yeah.
He's going to be abducted tonight.
Exactly. The Ministry of Energy.
Or
and-
whoever. What do they have? An ambassador? Or, not ambassador, like a king?
They-
What does Cuba have?
King of Cuba. I'm the king of Cuba.
I'm the ruler of Cuba.
All right.
I'm the emperor
I'm
of
the Lord of Cuba.
What do they have there? Is it a president?
They probably call him a president, but I mean,
Or do they have nothing?
he's
It's
just
like chaos all the time.
I mean, it's communism. They do
Yeah.
whatever the hell they want.
Right. That's what
The Ministry of Energy and Mines on X, they have an X account, noted a complete disconnection of the country's electrical system and said it was investigating. We don't know what's happening. We're going to investigate. They were implementing protocols to restore the system, the Post said. President Miguel Diaz-Canel on Friday said that he has like 6 names.
Yeah, they
on
always
Friday
do.
said the island had not received oil shipments in more than 3 months. It was operating on solar power, natural gas, and thermal electric plants. And the government has had to postpone surgeries for tens of thousands of people.
Holy crap.
Because they don't have gas. So anyways, be careful if you're going to Cuba, if you live in Cuba. If
If you're planning to go down there to have surgery, it's going to be canceled.
Don't go down there. I know people love to go get their surgeries in Cuba.
It's called the first secretary of the Communist Party, which apparently is also called a president.
Okay, well,
He serves as president
That's
of the
useless.
Republic.
okay, Republic.
Come on.
Come on,
communism.
man. Yeah, so anyways, Cuba's having a rough go. They
Yeah,
have no
that's crazy.
power. I'm sure it's chaos down there.
Oh, man, I can only
You know what I mean? 11 million people.
The lights come back on, just fires, and all the buildings are busted
Yeah.
into. Uh-oh.
What are you doing? The light's been off for a while, man.
There's no law once the lights
Yeah,
go
once
out.
the lights go out, you do whatever you want. Okay, so today we're talking about the first 100 miles, bugging out for real. Like if you're really bugging out, you're just like a normal, everyday person. You're not some dude on YouTube, that's the tactical.
You're
dude.
us.
You're us, just normal people. We're going to go out bugging out. What's it going to be like for that first 100 miles? First, guys, we need to talk about this because I know we're going to get comments. Well, let's quickly talk about why you're going to be leaving in the first place. First thing, because, leaving is not always the right move and almost never is.
True.
This is like a plan
Doesn't make
C.
sense, right?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. A lot of people talk, bugging out is the default response to an emergency. It just really is not. Most of the time, your home is still your best option. You have your shelter, you have your water, you have your supplies, you got your energy drinks.
Netflix and
you got
HBO.
Netflix and Hulu.
Yeah.
Paramount Plus.
Way more comfortable there.
All that. I mean, what else? What other streaming services?
Yeah.
Crackle, is that still alive? I
I
don't
think
know.
that one, Tubi.
Tubi?
Tubi's one of
yeah.
them.
To be. Staying put may be way smarter than loading everybody up and jumping in.
It's absolutely my first
the
plan,
lava
and my
flows.
second, and my third, fourth, and fifth.
Bugging out starts making sense when staying is clearly becoming more dangerous than going. So think of things like wildfire.
I was going to say that would be my first thought too.
Yeah, you can't stop a wildfire.
No.
It's pretty tough. Flooding, water is bad. That will make you drown in your own home. So you might want to get out of there. Chemical spills, there's not much you can do with a chemical spill. You can put, you know what I mean? There's not much you can do.
Yeah.
Civil unrest, we've talked about that. Mandatory evacuations. Sometimes they're just like, you're leaving.
Yeah. Why? Just get out.
Just go. Yeah. All right. We'll tell you later why. Grid failures. Maybe you're in Cuba. You can't get off that island though. Good luck.
Yes. Seriously.
Or some other situation where home is no longer safe or sustainable.
Yeah, that would suck, man. The island. Plus, if you get in a boat, they're going to be like, drug cartel, boom.
You're dead. Exactly. It's bad. So that matters because a lot of bad bug out plans start with the wrong first decision. People leave too early for the wrong reasons. They leave too late. Now they're stuck in the idiot traffic of all the dumb people who didn't get out when they were supposed to. So this whole episode really starts after that choice has been made. You know, we can't stay home. We have to go. So we're not really getting into why that's happening. We don't need to. Okay. We're just
part of a
going.
plan that we've always talked about.
Yes.
And now it's happening.
Yeah. So that's why we're not talking about why. We're just going. We have to go. And I want to start with, because really when it comes down to it, your vehicle, and I'm going to say it that way, your vehicle is the plan when it comes down to it. This is one of the biggest reality checks when it comes to bugging out, because it's your vehicle. It's not like the tricked out one you see on YouTube.
Never.
It's not like Last Line of Defense's his
amazing stuff.
Oh, he's got rad stuff. But it's not that stuff, right?
Nope.
It is the actual vehicle that's sitting in your driveway.
Yeah.
That's how you're going to go.
I have more gear, and I have like probably better stuff set up in my yellow F-150 that I have, but I'm going to take the Pilot.
You're going to take
because
the Pilot.
all my family can sit comfortably in there.
Exactly. So
this is what's going to happen.
So like for most people, like Cam said, that probably means the family SUV.
Yeah.
Or
we'll take both.
Or you take both. Or maybe
not
it's
as safe, but
a minivan. Maybe it's a commuter car. Maybe it's a little hybrid, or it could even be a pickup.
Yeah.
Like Cam said, right? So that's what the bug out is probably happening in, and that's what the plan needs to be built around. Not some fantasy vehicle that you hope to have one day.
Yeah.
Right?
You're behind. You haven't gotten anything ready for what's...
Make your plan for what you have right now.
Exactly.
And that really matters because your vehicle controls a lot more than people think. It affects how much gear you can carry, just like Cam mentioned. He's like, I got so much gear in that, but I can't carry all my people and my gear.
Yeah.
So I got to have this. How many people you can move, how far you can go on a tank, because
in a tank.
If you have a tank, but their MPGs aren't great.
Yeah.
But how far can you go on a tank?
Seriously.
Right? That's gonna really change what you're gonna do here. What roads you can handle. How much room you have once everybody is stressed, hungry, tired, and asking, how much longer, Dad? You know, when are we going to get there? So, like, when you think about it, like, you don't ever envision bugging out in a minivan because it doesn't look cool and it seems like...
It's boring. It's not as exciting.
But honestly, it can really be an awesome...
But you know it the best, too. Like, you know how far you can push it.
Sure. But also, like, it's set up great for, like, family trips, like road trips.
Yeah. It really
That's what a bug out is. It's a road trip, right?
Yeah.
With
you're not
driving
driving off road up through the mountains.
Hopefully, I mean, if you have a minivan, you're not.
You could, but it's like
if you have a minivan,
in reality, you're going to still be using paved roads.
Exactly.
Or dirt roads.
These have tons of room. They're really easy to load. They got them like automatic sliding doors and stuff. Like, it's freaking awesome. They're great for kids, right? You probably have like DVD players set up in there and all that kind of stuff. They have pretty good fuel economy when it comes down to it. And they have enough space to keep the important gear actually accessible.
Yeah.
That's one of the things on a bug out. It's like, if you're in a truck, we'll probably talk about this later, but it's hard to get to stuff that's in the back.
It is.
And,
I will talk about that.
It can be an issue.
We've rented minivans on a trip, and I'm like, why don't I own one?
They're nice.
They're so comfortable, and they drive so much smoother than everything else.
When you have kids and a bunch of stuff, they are perfect.
Yeah.
That's why
you get in and out way quicker.
That's what they're designed for. So, and maybe you have a small commuter car. And that's what you're going to have to bug out in, depending on how many people are in your family and that kind of stuff. These things are pretty good on gas. That's the nice thing, and that absolutely matters. But once you pack in maybe you got like 4 or 5 people in there, and now you got to get bags, and you got to get water, and you got to get supplies. It gets tight. It gets tight fast.
Yeah.
Right. So you're you're saving on fuel, but
my brother would kill it in this situation.
Buddy,
he has a Prius, like the older version Prius, and he has 3 kids. And for like a long time, he was coming down to visit like my family during like a holiday. All 3 of them, plus like he'd have like his like PC tower and like a telescope, and I'm like, how do you do this? So
you like Tetris,
some people
all that stuff in there.
They've mastered this.
Well, we're going to talk about EVs too, because there are other issues that come up with those.
For sure.
Maybe it's a pickup, like Cam mentioned, is F-150, because it does have some advantages, especially if you're hauling like a lot of fuel and some bigger items. You have that back, the bed.
You do,
right?
Yeah.
And that's wonderful. But
mine's a single cab.
It's a single cab. You got a bench seat.
Yeah.
You got like 4 people sitting, bitch, basically, and it's not easy.
Yeah. And it's a stick.
Yeah, and it's a stick. That makes it even worse.
I'm like always knocking their knees. All right.
Get your knee out of here. But you have to think about the passenger space, right? I mean, you can stuff 5 people in that if you have to.
For sure.
Yeah, you can just stick your wife down on the floor, all the kids up on a bench, okay? Or across the dash.
Yeah.
Do whatever you got to
exactly.
do, right?
100 miles like that.
You got to do what you got to do. But you have all the stuff in the back, and now you're dealing with weather exposure to all your gear if you don't have like a tonneau cover or whatever, right? Security for the gear in the bed, and whether everything important is easy to get to on the go. But hopefully you have like a sliding window and you have stuff right there. Anyways, it's a problem. Even a hybrid could be great in the right situation. Obviously, you have that good fuel mileage. And it's not going to look cool, but
it's not even. I mean, yeah.
These days,
the range is less typically than gas, so that's what
it gets tough. But your MPGs are good, so it's a trade-off.
But you have a generator that you're driving.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's like
that's on
you
a
could
hybrid.
Set up camp. Oh, you're talking about.
We're talking about a hybrid.
I thought you said EV. Sorry,
but we are going to talk about. We are going to talk about EVs right now, actually. So you got the hybrid, which obviously is kind of best of both worlds in some way.
If it breaks down, start it on fire. No one knows how to fix a hybrid.
You're never going to fix it.
There's only one person in every dealership.
Yep. And
that's the downside.
That is a huge downside. So then we talk about an EV, like a full-on electric vehicle. And it could be a BOV. Like this could be a bug-out vehicle.
Yeah.
It just makes some things harder. I mean, it's awesome. You don't have to stop. You don't have to gas up, but when you do have to like recharge that thing, you're looking at 45 minutes or whatever it takes to recharge that thing sitting somewhere. If those things are even open and operating.
That's the thing.
But, we say that, but then again, like.
Especially if everybody's on the road, you're going to be waiting hours on end.
That's true, because there's much less of those than there are fuel pumps. But you're not getting fuel if the power's out.
Not to mention if you haven't downloaded the app for each particular
and your
charge
phone's
station.
not charged. Yeah. But I mean, if you have to get fuel, you're probably not getting fuel either. If there's no,
it's true. That's true too.
So it's like it's a trade-off. I think the big thing with me is like it takes 5 minutes to fuel up my truck. It takes 40 minutes or whatever to recharge your battery. That's the trade-off that kind of sucks, right? Yeah. So, and you can't bring like with a truck, I could bring a couple 5-gallon things of fuel,
exactly,
which would get me further. But you can't do that with your EV. It is what it is.
Charge all the D batteries. Get as much as you can.
So really, your vehicle is going to dictate your route more than people want to admit here, because some of you are sticking to the pavement no matter what. You're not even going on like little dirt roads. Like you have to stay on the pavement. True. If you're in that minivan,
what's their clearance, like 1 inch?
Not great.
Or like a Lambo.
Yeah. But some of you can handle those rougher roads, maybe worse weather or off-pavement detours a little better. Those changes your options right out of the gate, those things here. Some vehicles really do give you more flexibility, like if those back roads and the dirt roads and the snow and the mud and lava, whatever the hell it is, becomes part of the trip, you can get through that stuff depending on what your vehicle is. And again, those other ones are just going to force you to stay on maintained roads and hope everything stays moving, and it is what it is. And then, like, your vehicle is not just transportation. Like, in a real bug out, it's probably going to be your shelter as well.
That too, yeah.
That's a big deal. And, it might be where your family gets out of the cold and the heat and the smoke and the rain and the wind and all that kind of stuff. And it may be the place where your kids, need to calm down, you stop and regroup, where you eat, where you charge your devices. All that stuff is happening in your vehicle because it's your shelter, right?
Right.
It gives you that layer of protection between whatever chaos is happening outside. And that's a big deal.
It's
And
a huge deal.
I think we even talked about it could be a weapon at one point too. Like if you need to ram
get
somebody
through
or
someone. Yeah, you've seen those like creepy videos where people try and blockade somebody and try and steal their vehicle. You run them over.
try and do that on a motorcycle. Like it's tough.
Yeah.
Right. Because we're going to talk about
wheelie over them.
Yeah,
Remember?
exactly. You wheelie hard to do that. That's the
You
problem.
get the skid plate to the face.
Yeah, exactly. Motorcycles are worth mentioning because they do have some real advantages. Obviously, you can move through, they can weave through traffic, use less fuel. You get around
Or
certain.
go get fuel, like if you or
You
run
can-
out and you have some backup plan to go get some.
If you're driving up to like a roadblock, man, you're gone.
Seriously,
You in a normal vehicle, most likely
traffic you
it's gonna
can
be
go
tough.
way further because you just go around everybody.
Yeah, but if you have a family, nah, not gonna help. Not gonna help, right? You don't have any storage, basically. You don't have any weather protection. Your passenger capacity is basically 1.
Yep.
And they got to hold on to your love handles the whole time. And that's embarrassing sometimes. So it's great for like solo movement in the right situation, but it's not ideal for a family bug out. It's just not going to happen, right? So like I really think the smarter move here is to get brutally honest about what your vehicle can and can't do, because once conditions get rough, the strengths and the weaknesses of your vehicle are really going to show up fast. So understand what it is and make your plan around that vehicle.
Yeah.
Don't be thinking
We'll
that
talk a little bit more in detail about like some of those weaknesses you might find right
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, might be an issue. Might be an issue. And I also wanted to start here. Getting out of the house is really part of the bug out, right? We talk about the first 100 miles, but it really is like the first 100 feet is a big deal, right? Because that's where the first real test happens before you even leave the driveway. You got to load up that vehicle. You got to get the kids ready. You
Dude, that is already hours.
I know. You got to get like pets, and you got to lock up, and you got to do final checks, and you got to get all this stuff.
Yeah,
And
you hope you come back to it. I mean, there might be a case where you're like, it's going to be destroyed. I'm just going to abandon it all.
But most likely, even if that's the case, I'm locking up and I'm still trying to like just in case, like fingers crossed.
It's true.
You come back to this
Can't
place.
guarantee it's gone.
And this is where like a lot of confusion and a lot of lost time happens if nobody knows what their job is in this first like 10 minutes. It's like who's loading the vehicle, who's handling the kids, who's grabbing like meds and chargers and documents and like last minute things and bug out bags, and who's doing like the final walk. Like you got to understand who's doing all that stuff, or it's just going to be a bunch of people running around like dum-dums.
Seriously.
And not know what's happening.
Yeah.
The whole departure, if the whole departure depends on everybody running around and figuring out in real time, no.
That's true.
Good luck with that. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And then there's like this hesitation that probably happens here. Okay, maybe we should grab one more bag. No, let's check the news once more before we leave. I need to run back in. We forgot this. And
Yep. That's absolutely my kids too.
this is what's going to
I
happen.
didn't get
here.
my shoes.
Yeah, it's like
What?
I forgot to put pants on. Gosh dang! Again. I don't have any
I got to poop.
pants.
Oh, geez.
Poop in the back of the van. That's why we got a van. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So like you need a level of order here, and I think it comes down to that emergency plan and having those discussions beforehand.
This
right?
has to be part of it.
It has
really
to be
does.
part
That's
of
one
it.
thing that I'm always fearful of. Like
Yeah.
you said, the time it takes to
Yeah.
get to go anywhere. Just right now, it takes so long.
Oh my god!
So I can't imagine an emergency. They're like, I got to grab
Yeah.
all of my, most valuable items.
Yeah, forgot my baseball card.
I built this Lego thing. It took me all Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm taking it.
Yeah. So, anyways, think about that because that's really the first leg of your journey.
Yeah.
Is from house to vehicle.
Yeah, that's a huge part.
Yep.
Is there anything else? Here?
No, that's
Okay.
it.
Sorry.
That's it on that.
So, now you're on the road.
Yeah.
Now you've gotten everybody in there. Half of them don't have shoes on. One has to pooped his pants.
You forgot 2 of them.
Exactly.
They're still at home.
But that transition from your driveway to the open road is the real stress test of the entire plan. Hopefully, it's something that you maybe have thought through and kind of gone through. I mean, in reality, who's going to test this?
Yeah.
I would hope that I would at some point, and I haven't.
Yeah.
But it's like, this is going to be a stress test right now. And so there's a lot of things you need to be looking at as you're getting on the road and away.
Yeah.
The first few miles usually show whether you've left early, left late, chose the wrong route. All of that's going to like show up real quick, and you're going to be like, oh crap, do we continue on? Do we change directions? Do we, take our alternate routes, or do we go back?
Yeah.
And so that's what I was going to talk about here. Some key points to consider and observe is obviously like you have to have situational awareness on the road.
Yeah.
And that's tough because you're already stressed out. You're trying to get going, yelling at kids and, trying to think of what you forgot in your head. It's like, are you paying that much attention to the road itself? First thing that you really need to look at is like, how are the laws of the road holding up for people around you?
Yeah, that's a big deal.
You can tell right away, are people like rushing, not thinking it through, blasting through four-way stops, or just sitting at four-way stops for an eternity? It's like, or, see them all like storming the grocery store. They're all rushing to the gas station. Like, this kind of helps predict what kind of challenges you're going to have ahead. So you need to be paying attention to that.
Yeah, that early read on that situation is going to be pretty critical.
It's I know it depends a lot on the situation, which we didn't go into much detail because it could be a lot of different reasons, but pay attention to what you're getting into. It's like, is this more of a risk for us to be even trying?
Yeah, sure.
Like maybe we should, even though there's a risk of losing our home or this location isn't the greatest, maybe our chances are still better staying.
Yeah.
But you're trying to figure that out on the way.
Don't think just because you made the decision, like you have to go.
Yeah.
Like you can turn things around, especially in the first few miles.
Yep.
If you need to.
So those first few miles are huge. You got 100. That's what we're talking about, right? You got 100.
You got 98 miles to go.
Right.
Yeah.
The next thing you look at is like the mechanical stress starts to come into play. Okay, you've never really tested this whole thing. You have an overloaded minivan or Honda Pilot or Ford Focus, whatever is your actual bug-out vehicle.
Yeah.
Now you're overloaded and you have you start feeling that things are different.
Yeah.
It's like it's wobbly, or you're feeling like you can't stop as quickly, and maybe the temperature gauge is going up based on whatever situation or the time of year. You're like, oh crap, this is not going to work out.
And I think the first thing is like probably don't overload it. Like a lot of
seriously.
people are going to want to. It's
For
like,
sure.
We got to take
I got
everything.
to take everything because I might not be able to get any of this back.
Probably not a great idea.
It's not worth it. Take the essentials, and I have a little list of some of the things
good.
to talk about.
Good.
There. But yeah, right away you might notice like, okay, this vehicle's not going to make it.
Yeah.
Or
Scary.
the stress test on it is obviously showing that this 150,000 mile vehicle is now going to be a problem for you. So right away you should get an idea of that. Especially if you like start smelling, the sweet smell of coolant and all that. You're like, oh crap, gears grinding and stuff like that. It's infinitely better to have a mechanical failure near your driveway, or rather than like 98 miles down the road, like you said.
True.
So start paying more attention to that. It's like, okay, this is a lot heavier and a lot more gear. It still seems to be holding up. It's driving like it feels like it normally does. So you're okay. Keep going. You need to have like a commitment point. Yeah. That's really hard, right? Because you're like, I'm trying to get away from everything. I'm trying to get to a safe location, but you need to have a point to where you're like, at this point, if things are bad, traffic's worse, maybe it's the destination that you're like, if we get past this, we got to keep going no matter what.
Yeah.
Or at this point, we got to go back. And so that's hard, and it's going to be different for everybody's plan, but it's something you need to realize. You need to have your point of no return.
And some of that
out.
Could be based on like your gas mileage.
True.
Right? It's like, if I go back at this point, I'm not making it all the way back anyways.
And you're like, man, I know the range on this, but that range was when you were going a steady 65 miles per hour, no stop and go. And it's like, that changes everything too. If you get into a traffic gridlock, you're like, okay, this thing overheats if I'm in it for more than 15 minutes.
Yeah.
We're probably in trouble already.
Not going to be good.
So, or if public, people are too insane, it's going to slow you down. It's like, that's going to change everything. So you need to have a point where you're like, if I see that things are much, much worse, I'm going to take my chances back at home.
Yeah.
And then, some of the, sometimes the bravest survival move isn't pushing forward. It's admitting that the road is a trap. You're not going to go anywhere and it's going to be more unsafe and you need to turn around.
Yeah.
That's still a possibility.
Yeah.
Or you go back to someone else that's, maybe you can't go back to your particular neighborhood or your location, but it's like, I'm going to go back to town and try and find somebody I can stay with.
Yep.
The other thing is like a little checklist that I wanted to put on here for like the go or no go. Just to kind of think about and go through in your head as you're starting into this 100-mile or whatever it takes.
Mm-hmm.
First, the flow rate. Are you maintaining at least 50% of the speed limit? If you're crawling 5 miles per hour, the first 3 miles in the main arteries have already failed. You're not going to get very far. You're going to run out of gas sooner. You're going to be, trapped in your vehicle amongst all these other people. Exit strategy scan. Are the shoulders and oncoming lanes clear? Like, you always see those like apocalyptic movies when it's like all the cars are off on the shoulders. Like there's no way around it.
You're done.
It's like, then you're stuck there and you have to abandon your vehicle. And now you're even more susceptible to, the dangers of people. Plan B viability. Check your first bypass or side road. If the shortcuts are already congested, the local grid's officially compromised.
Yep.
So like it kind of gives you an idea. It's like, it's not going to work. Your vehicle vital signs, like I was saying, it's like you're putting more stress on this vehicle, pushing it a little harder, having more weight in there. Everybody's in there. It's like if it's starting to feel right away that it's not going to work, then don't go any further. Again, check the driver, see how they're responding to this whole situation. That can kind of give you an idea of how the next 100 miles are going to go. And check your AM, FM scanners, radio, things like that, your communications to see if you can kind of get an idea of what's going on outside of town. We live rural, so it might be a little less clear what's going on, far from town. But those big cities, and suburbs and stuff, you're going to figure out a little bit quicker.
Hopefully, yeah.
From news, maybe,
Yep.
yeah. And then again, your range calculation, that's something you got to consider. It's kind of a rundown of the same things I was talking about. It's like stop and go traffic. It's going to cut your fuel down immensely. Maybe your plan to get to a location that's 65 miles. I'd hope your car would make it that far.
You would hope so.
But you might not have enough gas, and I can't stop and get gas. It's like, this is going to change everything. I can't get that far. So those are some of the little checklist items to kind of go through as you're getting on the road and moving with your whole family.
Yeah.
So,
you know what else is important in this first 100 miles, and that's hydration.
Oh, yeah.
Cam. And as people want to be prepared and ready for anything, the last thing you need is something that will slow you down when you need to be ready the most. That's why we at Casual Preppers have teamed up with Element. It is a tasty electrolyte drink mix with everything you need and nothing that you don't. We think it's perfect for Bugout bags and EDC kits because it contains a science-backed electrolyte ratio, 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. Casual Preppers listeners can get a free Element sample pack of the most popular drink flavors when you make any purchase through our exclusive Casual Preppers link. They offer no questions asked refunds on all orders. You don't even have to send it back. This offer may be claimed by first-time and returning Element customers, but you got to go to our VIP Element Partners link. That is drinkelement.com/casualpreppers. Get your order and your free sample pack with any purchase. That is drinklmnt.com/casual preppers.
That's good stuff.
It's so delicious. So we need to talk about this at some point, and I just thought I'd put it in here because destination is actually a big deal. We're talking about bugging out, but do you actually have a bug out location in mind?
It's going 100 miles.
You're just going 100 miles in whatever direction, right? So I think this part actually gets skipped way too often. People spend a ton of time thinking about, leaving, but not
They
really.
just leave.
They just leave.
And it's like, where are we going to go now?
Where are we going?
Check Expedia for hotels.
Yeah, on the way. Probably not a good idea because the first 100 miles do not matter much if the destination itself is just like some random thought in your head.
It's true.
Okay? Yeah. If you're heading somewhere that's not actually safer, not actually stocked, or not actually expecting you, then you may just be driving from one problem to another. A real bug out location needs to be more than just vague idea. Like, it needs to be an actual place, somewhere reachable, somewhere that gives you a clear advantage over staying home. Otherwise, like, there's no reason to leave.
Yeah,
you're just
seriously.
like driving around in a mess.
Right.
Basically, is what you're doing. So this could be a lot of different things.
Or adding to that mess.
Yeah. It could be family property. It could be a relative's house. It could be a cabin, a friend's place, or even a temporary location outside the danger zone, which apparently you live in.
A little place called Aspen.
Yeah. But whatever it is, it needs to make sense for the type of emergency you're dealing with right now. And depending on the situation, you may have more than one decent option, and I hope you do. I hope you have more than one option. Because if it's a localized issue like a wildfire or a chemical spill or like a regional power outage, then almost anywhere outside that zone is fine. Like, you could you could get on Expedia, find a hotel in the next town, and you're probably okay. You may not need like that perfect off-grid cabin. You just need distance from this thing. But if you're dealing with something that's more broad, maybe it's a pandemic, maybe it's civil unrest, widespread instability, then the kind of destination matters a lot more here. In those cases, you want to find lower population areas because it's going to make a whole lot more sense than heading into another crowded city. If you're in Salt Lake, you're like, I'm going to Ogden to get away from this crazy. You're going right into another issue, right? If you're leaving because of a wildfire, then heading to a place that's also dry, exposed, and on the same path of danger, it's not a plan. You're just going to get burnt there instead of burnt at home. Okay? Yeah. If you're leaving because of civil unrest and going somewhere equally unstable.
Yeah. It's like us going to the Wasatch Front when there's like total chaos going on throughout the state.
Makes no sense whatsoever, right? And this is where people get a little too optimistic. They assume the destination will work out. I'll be fine. I'm getting out of here, getting out of town.
I know it's safer out there.
I guarantee it.
My parents live out there.
Someone's going to answer the phone. There's going to be room, supplies, power, water, all that stuff. No, don't assume that. You need to actually have something in mind. Because if your whole destination depends on like a perfect route staying open, one person being available, everything going perfect, ooh, man, not great, right? Your bug out location needs to be real, reachable, and worth the risk of leaving in the first place. This is like standard. Like, you don't, like, leaving your house is like one of the last options anyways.
Yeah.
And if you're doing it, like, you have to have a better place to go.
Yeah.
How long can I stay at this place? Do they know we might be coming?
Right.
Will there be enough food, water, meds, bedding, heat, power, all the things that you're leaving?
Yeah.
Right? What happens if we show up and it's not an option? Now what do I do?
Right.
So you need...
There's a lot of people that like are going to go to like their parents or something.
Yeah,
you know?
sure.
It's like, I thought about that too. It's like my parents, they live on a dairy farm. And like, that would work out well. But then I have 5 other siblings.
Sure.
And their families. That's not going to work out well.
Yeah.
We will kill each other.
And to get there, is the route make sense?
Horrible route.
Depending on the situation, right? There's a lot of different things, right?
Yeah. So it's like, don't like really think through that destination.
You need to have a backup to the backup. You just have to, you know, like, people obsess over gear and route and all this stuff. But like, if you ain't going anywhere good, then it doesn't matter. So think about that before you get on the road.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah.
So one thing, and I probably could have put this up there sooner about at the actual like organization of your vehicle, like how things are set up. Because in an emergency, you're just going to throw everything in there.
Yeah,
you know, bags in the back, you know, whatever goes on top. It's like, I don't care as long as the kids have a seat or you're sitting on a bug-out bag. You buckle in and the bag.
It almost doesn't matter how prepared you are. You're going to do that.
This is a bit of a
you're
mess,
just like,
right?
Oh, frick, I got to get out of here.
Exactly. So you got to think about how that's going to play out into the situation. Maybe you need to get out of the vehicle quicker, or maybe, you know, one big thing is you want your kids to be comfortable and less stressed while you're in there. If they're like panicking, I always think about like on War of the Worlds. You remember she's like screaming because she doesn't know what's going on, and he's like, "Just stop!"
Luckily, he had his other kid.
His brother's
there,
like,
right?
"This is your safe zone," or whatever. Yeah.
But yeah, that stuff is huge.
So you have to think about that you know, that first 100 miles is going to expose bad packing when you start you start on the road, and then you're like, you know, where's the charger? Where's the cable? Where's our cash, food, all that
Where's
stuff?
the steering wheel?
Where's
that?
Yeah, exactly.
Where's the kids?
Where's the one kid?
Where's my wife?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So bad packing will definitely complicate things.
Sure,
If you've crammed your vehicle so tight with every last minute item, you know, kids sitting on your lap and all that stuff, it's going to go poorly.
Not going to be good.
Within a few miles. and I'll talk a little bit about like kind of the main things that you want to look at when you pack up the car. So some key things also before that are like, you need to remember the immediate needs. Like what things when you get on the road you're probably going to look for first. Water, snacks, chargers, and a map. That's probably like your main things.
My kids get in a car and it's like snack. Right away.
And entertain me.
Yeah.
Like I need something to listen to.
Tell me a story.
Yeah.
Come listen to Taylor Swift.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If you have to pull over and unpack the entire trunk to find one of these items, or even like medicine, it's ibuprofen. I got a headache. I'm stressed out. If you have to pull over, you're getting that much further behind.
Where's my Viagra? I need it now.
I like to drive 2 sticks.
You're driving a stick. I'm driving a automatic.
That's my navigation stick. You tell me which way to turn.
It looks like we're going north, baby. All right.
My compass.
It's a compass. Yeah.
But like your bug out bag, every pound also counts. It's going to change the mileage. It's going to change the comfort of that, like, live in space. You might have to stay overnight in that thing, too. It's like,
for sure.
Are you going to unpack it all and lay it next to the car to lay down in there?
Probably.
That's probably, I know, I was thinking about, I'm like, that's probably what
even
we would
if
do,
like
because
you're going to a hotel, you're going to have to unpack all that.
exactly.
Like if you're in a truck.
Yeah.
Like I remember doing that. Like we were doing some, when I was young and we were doing some shows on the road, we would go for a long ways and we have this truck, but the back wouldn't lock. It had a shell on it.
So you had to take everything in?
Every hotel, we had to take all our gear out and throw it in the hotel. But
that's a good point.
You would have to do that.
It's like an open, exposed truck bed.
Yeah.
And everybody else is like freaking out. That'll get cleaned out if you go sleep somewhere.
For sure. So you got to think about it.
But you also have to think like, and this is a tricky thing, right? It's like, okay, the items I'm going to put in here, I want to have extra food. I want to have extra. But if you have to like immediately leave that vehicle, you have to think about like, is it worth taking if you can't carry it with you very easily?
Yeah.
Maybe it's worth having it no matter what.
Yeah.
But also something to consider. Then the fuel crisis, and then we always talk about that half tank, the habit. This is where it comes into play big time, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody's trying to leave, everybody's on the road. The gas stations, you're not going to, either the power won't work and you can't pump the gas into your car, or everybody's trying to pump gas into the car.
And like even so, like I would probably drive by the gas station and just eyeball it, because if you can top off, man, you're gonna want to
for sure.
But if you have a half a tank, you don't have to.
Yeah,
hopefully.
Yeah, exactly.
You can get 100 miles.
Seriously, yes. Like I would hope whatever you drive.
Yeah.
That you have enough to at least do that.
Yeah.
And then expect the grid to be down, like I said.
Yep.
So having cash maybe can get you somewhere. I don't know.
Possibly.
I was like thinking of, do any of the pumps nowadays have any kind of manual system?
I don't know.
I don't know if they do.
I really don't know.
Somebody needs to come up with like almost like an auger to drill down to the tanks.
Exactly.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
And then we've talked about that. Stop and go traffic's going to really kill your gas mileage if you're in that. The other thing, consider the importance of comfort. Again, the vehicle is also safely getting your family somewhere. You don't want to like have your kids sitting on a bug out bag, have a plate carrier blocking their view. Yeah. It's like, is
AR
that
between their legs?
Exactly. It's like, is that gear necessary for them to be stressed and not comfortable if you're, traveling to a safer location?
Your gold bars,
Exactly.
under their car seat.
Yeah, no, you ain't sitting there. You're crawling in the back. I've got my AR strapped in tight.
That's right.
But yeah, a lot of these items. So, some vital items to consider to keep accessible in your vehicle. Water, obviously. Something like a case of water in between everybody, so you can get to that quickly, hydrate along the way. Maybe it's element too, for sure. And then snacks, that helps calm everybody and then keeps you don't know how much you need to be like prepared to leave the car. Again, like if you can eat a bunch along the way, you're probably going to be better off. Power banks and charging cables. You're trying to keep up on the news and you're trying to like reach out to family and all of that. Also, you might be using it as GPS. So obviously power banks and charge cables, your vehicle can charge all those power banks. You want all that stuff.
I would be charging the second I got in that car.
Me too. Keep everything
constantly.
topped off.
Yeah.
Battery packs and everything. Don't like slap one on the back and not use the generated power. And then we've talked too about having like backup paper maps. A lot of people navigate by GPS. And I'll mention that later about how everyone is navigating by GPS. So everybody's taking the route that Google
that
or
they're
Apple
giving you.
is telling you.
Yeah.
So you got to consider that. And like a lot of people don't know some of these back ways. And if you don't have access, the phones are down, the internet's not working, you at least have a paper backup.
Yeah.
So consider having that accessible too. Small denominations of cash, dollar bills and stuff like that for buying items if you have to stop.
Yeah.
Maybe get you some gas. And then meds, Pepto, ibuprofen, all that stuff in your console, easy to use. Band-Aids, who knows? Glass might be shattering from some severe storm that you're trying to get out of.
Yep.
And then a multi-tool, like something that can cut seat belts and break windows. That should be like important in every vehicle. I have one in all of mine, like that I can grab at any moment. Because who knows, right? You got crazy drivers. They might pin you in. You might get pushed off the road. You have to break the window, cut the seat belts, get everybody out. Flashlights, headlamps.
Oh, yeah. Huge.
Also super important. And then the last one is like self-defense item.
Yeah.
Pepper spray, stun gun, a handgun, brass knuckles, anything that could protect you from other people.
Yep.
And also if you have to get out of that car, I want to have something that I can take to defend myself.
100%.
So yeah, one key thing to consider in this first 100 miles is like those side-mounted cargos and boxes are awesome, and I want them.
Mm-hmm.
They're amazing, but don't put your water in those and your food and your med kits. It's like, oh, those are out of the way. They're on the side. All that, like, you don't want to have to stop and get out to get those things, and also like they might get ripped off or that you might lose those things. So it's like put those essential items I just mentioned inside the actual car.
Yeah.
And then whatever else you can store on those bins, in those like cases and stuff is great, but you're not worried if you lose it or you can't get to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's all good advice, Cameron.
Hopefully.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hopefully.
And really bugging out with a small family, it's not just a vehicle, it's not just a gear problem. A lot of this comes down to you kind of trying to lead them through this issue. Right? Because the second like stuff gets really uncertain, all that weird human stuff shows up really fast. Like they get hungry, they need bathroom breaks. They're getting
More
really
so, right?
oh,
It's
they
like,
get
oh my
stressed. They're confused. The kids are asking all these questions, and then you start get irritated, and then your wife is scared or your husband's scared or whatever it is. The kids really probably aren't
Your
gonna,
wife and your husband.
Yes, both of them. We're in Utah here. Kids may not understand every detail, but they absolutely will pick up on your mood and the way that you're
sure.
conducting this bug out, because once stress rises in the vehicle, man, your decision making gets worse and it's really bad. That's why I think leadership really matters in a situation like this. Somebody has to stay steady, keep the tone really calm.
For sure.
Somebody's got to make those decisions in a manner that helps you make good decisions and keeps things moving without adding panic, because you're going to be panicked. And when you're panicked, everybody else starts getting panicked. I know if I'm panicked,
the whole leadership thing. That's going to be super hard.
It really is.
You're looking ahead at like getting out and there might be people
man.
freaking you out, but you also like, I'm just making things worse by like going 100 miles in the school zone.
And I think that's like, and it's like Cam mentioned, those comfort items are huge here, right? Like the snacks and the water and,
that's why they need to be accessible, right? You can't just be like, I know you're hungry, but we don't have time to drink and eat.
Yeah, you can't. It's like, no, like, look, okay, here, if I have to, let me stop real quick. I'll get you this stuff. Or I've made sure that stuff is accessible before we got going. That's part of the leadership, right? So like
most of you've done trips know where to put stuff in already, but
exactly. A good bug out plan has to work on a bad day with tired, hungry, cramped, and stressed people. But you've got to help keep them strong or calm, and you have to be kind of the leader in that situation. So just think about that, because if you're the one that's listening to the podcast, you're probably the one that's going to lead a bug out.
And that's a hard thing. Like when you're in the moment, it'll change.
Yeah.
But like you have to be calm and collected.
And I think the biggest way you can help that is have thought it all through beforehand.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like day of, I'm trying to figure it out.
You're already stressed just getting them into the car, like losing your mind.
Yeah, so be thinking about it beforehand.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Big deal.
The other part I want to talk about is like be prepared to transition from your planned route to your active navigation, right?
Sure.
Because we've mentioned this already. It's like things are going to change. Who knows like what scenario you're in, what authorities, how the road's going to change. There's going to be checkpoints along the way. Like all of that has to be taken into consideration too. In your first 100 miles, your greatest enemy isn't the distance; it's the static nature of single plan. Like some people are so glued to that that they're not as flexible with change.
Yeah.
So if you're using a major highway, so is everyone else. Plan A becomes idling in a parking lot. It's no longer the best thing to do. So it's a trap. So either turn back or change your plan immediately. Think about choke points. That's one thing that I know the path out of town for most ways, but I've never really stopped to think about where could I probably run into most traffic?
Yeah.
Where are most choke points? Where have I seen, I'm sure you've seen when they set up roadblocks, blockades to send you up through so they can scan, check your license and stuff. Where do those usually happen? They're probably going to be in the same location, mostly because they've already used it. They know how to work it. So you have to think about that ahead of time with your route. It's like bridges, tunnels, mountain passes are single points of failure. Realize that every drive around you, again, this is where I had mentioned before, everyone's using GPS for the fastest route. It can't update fast enough, or signals are down and stuff like that. And this creates the GPS echo chamber where everybody's using the same thing. You're probably going to run into a bottleneck if you're following the same path.
Yep.
And then your advantage lies in knowing the non-digital paths. And that's why we talk about wherever you live, understand these different routes out of town. There might be a dirt road that takes you all the way to where you need to go that no one ever travels. Out here, we have so many oil field roads. It's you could probably get to
away.
most places without being on a paved road. And remember, this is an emergency plan, so plan on interaction with authorities and obstacles. You're guaranteed to run into some checkpoints. And so where's your license and your registration and identification? Is all of that readily accessible? It needs to be, because guaranteed you're going to run into that. And emergency orders might change how a road completely works. Everybody's going to be in one lane, or you're going to be driving the opposite direction in the other lane. Stuff like that can change based on how the authorities decide they need to direct traffic. So don't be freaked out by that. Just expect it to probably happen.
Yeah.
And keeping that dynamic navigation mindset, pivoting before the jam. Most people wait until they're stuck in traffic before they look for an exit. Start looking at those signs before you get bottled, into that bottleneck, and you can't turn around, you can't get off the road or anything like that. I hate that.
Oh, it's the worst.
You miss an exit and you're oh crap, there's traffic, and you're trying to get off, and it's the next exit's not for another 20 miles. You're well, I'm stuck no matter what. And then weather or a disaster like flood and earthquake, where can it break up the roads? Is it going to cause destruction of your path that you're going to run into thinking you're getting away?
Yeah, and knowing what the situation is.
If you live on the coast, that whole route might be washed away depending on what your plan is to get out of town. And then the other key, this part I wanted to mention and add in here is okay, you've got all this stress to deal with. You've loaded up your family. Everybody's trying to get out. You're trying to get out of town. You're trying to deal with traffic. You're trying to deal with the stresses of like I was saying, changing up your route, reading all these different signs. The person sitting next to you is very important.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's and I'm just saying that because it might be your spouse, or your spouse is probably going to create a bigger problem for you. You guys don't navigate normally very well. You probably shouldn't put them in the front seat with you.
Yeah.
Put them behind you, and maybe your oldest child or something that can help navigate through all this crap. So it's very important that you consider who you have riding shotgun.
Some people just weren't born to navigate things.
No, they weren't. Or there's just enough delay that they're going to get you in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm not saying their brain is slow.
I'm just saying
the way
they operate.
The way they navigate is oh, that's the turn I wanted you to turn at.
Yeah.
Or you passed it already. They need to be very clear with communication, and you need to not be annoyed with them. If that's going to happen, you need to switch it up.
Yeah. But, and they might be better suited to be back with the younger kids,
yes,
which would help anyways, or whatever.
It helps in a different way, right?
Yeah.
I know we went on a trip with my wife's family, and it's funny because her parents were they decided that right off the bat. They're I'm not going to sit in the front. I'm going to sit in the back and enjoy it. and it did. It went well. There was no arguments. They just knew right away. And so it's like you have to consider that things are going to be super stressful.
Yeah.
You as the driver, your sole job is, dodge erratic drivers, debris pedestrians, and essentially be looking. You're doing kind of the situational awareness stuff.
Yeah.
The navigator handles the rest. They're the ones that are monitoring the news and kind of looking at social media maybe, and also trying to help you know where to go.
I would probably be doing both of those things, to be honest with you.
I know.
Like I would just have to do it all probably.
But it would be nice to have that person
yes.
monitoring all of that for you. They also need to be very good with their navigational skills, right?
Yeah.
Turn left here in 5 miles.
Yeah, exactly.
Look for this sign. Look for this route. Don't be like, exit 42 is coming up now.
Yeah.
It's like,
oh, we just passed it.
Yeah,
That's where we wanted to go.
The other thing that is useful is they could be like keeping a notebook to track time and mileage to see like, what, we're not progressing as fast as you're going to run out of gas sooner. There's gas stations along this route. Like, let's hit that up.
Yeah.
And the navigation. It's a new word.
Yeah.
The navigator, the communication from the navigator also helps with like emergency contacts. Like they may be the one to be reaching out to different family and be like, what's going on out there? Should we come that way? We're going to be going in this direction. It just helps you as a driver to be focused on the situation that you're dealing with. Then they can be looking into the future stuff. In the family bug-out vehicle, or FBOV, as I call it.
Oh, the FBOV, yeah.
Yeah. The navigator also manages the kids and the pets, right?
Yeah.
So, or has somebody managing in him.
Right.
And then, so the little checklist that I had for like the navigator's first 100-mile checklist, have a paper map open at the same time as they're using the GPS.
They can
maybe something that's like, they can fall back to that quickly and not only rely only on the GPS. They're like, okay, this matches up with the map. Verify signal strength of the cells. Like we don't have cellular now. Now we're kind of keep you up on that. Fuel projection, and then route scouting. Exit ramps, U-turns, things like that are coming up. Give you enough time to know like we need to get off from this because GPS is showing it's all red or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's important. I mean, that was a lot of stuff, but I think it's very important to consider who could be your navigator, who would be helping and not hindering, and you won't like increase stress by having that person next to you.
Or get divorced.
Some people, it's their spouse, and they're amazingly good at it. Others, it's like it's probably safer to just put somebody else up there to help you and not get so stressed out.
Yeah, if you have an older teenager or something that can help with that, then that's great.
Yep.
Yeah. So I want to talk about weather, danger, and like some of these human problems, because this is where the bug out can stop feeling like a hard trip and start feeling genuinely like dangerous. Like it's not good. Weather is one of the biggest things, because maybe that's the reason you're leaving anyways, is weather, but it might also be another domino on top of the situation. Like you're bugging out. It's horrible. Oh crap, now we have a blizzard, or now we have a huge
that's guaranteed
thunderstorm. So
blinding rain where it's just like I can't see anything.
And that can wreck a decent plan really fast. Maybe it's smoke. I mean,
soot from a volcano.
Yeah. Ice. Flooding, wind, heat, snow, debris, all this can make this bug out way more serious than it is. And that's the whole thing. Like these things don't happen one at a time. And like now we got ice. Okay, no, ice is gone now. We have smoke. No, it's like already on top of everything that's happening. You got low fuel, you're dealing with traffic, and suddenly now you've got smoke and you can't see 10 feet in front of the car. Right. So that and I think wildfire smoke is a really good example, because even if the fire isn't right on top of you, you could have really poor visibility, and bad air can make the travel miserable and dangerous. And it's the same thing with flooding. Like a road can look passable until all of a sudden you're floating in your car, right? It's not good. And the same thing with ice. If you got a bunch of scared, crazy drivers out there and you have black ice, what's going to happen? You're going to have a gigantic pileup. That's exactly what's going to happen. And then you add people.
It's hard to not think it's going to just be like it is today.
Because it's like, not going to be.
Not hot. It's nice.
Perfect weather.
It's guaranteed during an emergency to have some visibility issues, or if there's worsening weather.
And then you add a bunch of people to the equation, and you have things like civil unrest and panic and desperation and aggressive drivers and crowds at gas stations. All these people making really bad choices. All of that can make certain roads and certain towns and stops a whole lot riskier than they looked like when you were mapping it out, you know, a couple years ago for your bug out plan. So that's why it's hard to think of things in terms of distance. It's like a town 20 miles away may technically be on your route, but if it's packed and it's unstable and it's turning hostile and like the 7-Eleven's on fire, that could be the worst part of your trip, and you might have to completely get away from
no
it.
nachos.
I just
No big gulp.
I wanted a hot dog from...
That was a whole part of the reason we took the detour.
I hate this place now. And it's the same with stops. Like, not every gas station or parking lot or convenience store is a smart place to pull into when people are stressed and supplies are tight. Sometimes the safest move really is just to keep going. You know, keep rolling. Deal with this problem, whatever you're dealing with later, because these stops are not safe. And that's, like Cam mentioned, situational awareness starts mattering more than being the tough guy that is leading your family somewhere, right? Like, you don't get points for acting tough. It's like, I'll stop at 7-Eleven if I want to. I'm an American citizen. You know, I deserve a big gulp and a hot dog. No.
I can tell you right now, like, the routes out of our town, which gas stations I am not ever going to stop at. Yeah. I'm going to pick up a disease and probably get raped.
I don't stop at them now.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like, even if it doesn't look busy, it's probably still not worth it.
It's not worth it. Like, you don't get points for acting tough in a bug out situation.
You really don't.
Really, you're just trying to keep everybody safe and moving along. You know, if you have your family in the vehicle, your job is not to prove anything. It's to read the situation and avoid problems early. Keep moving to safety, right? And that might actually mean we have to turn around, like, or we can't go to this stop that we were going to get fuel at. It doesn't matter if we're going to run out of fuel. We have to keep going because we'll die if we go back there, or a kid will get raped and kidnapped or something, right?
Yeah.
It might mean taking the longer route because the shorter one is looking a little sketchy. It may mean not getting out of the vehicle at all.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of different things you're going to have to consider with some of these influences that with weather and people and all that stuff, right? And a lot of people imagine like danger in a bug out is like one big like dramatic thing happening, but more often it's just like a bunch of smaller warning signs that stack up. Like, traffic's getting worse, and smoke's getting thicker, crowds are acting a little odd, right? The road looking worse than expected, somebody's driving super aggressively. All this stuff just adds up to a full-blown problem. And it's not usually just one little thing. So I think this section of the bug out is really about staying sharp, staying humble. You don't let your
staying
ego,
humble part, man.
Don't let your ego get in the way. Like, it's so stupid.
You get mad with drivers pretty quick.
Hand me my AR. It's like, you know, don't get the gun out. You saw what happened in War of the Worlds, right?
Yeah.
It's not good. So just think about those things, because all those things can stack up and they can be a problem. But if you can keep a straight head, you know, if you can stay humble and not let your ego get involved, that's the best thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. There's a lot that I would not ride with because of that reason.
100%.
It's like,
yep.
They're going to be,
And
I don't know if my brother-in-law listens, and I'm sorry if I bring it up, but he was telling me about like flashing guns even on the Wasatch Front. You know, some kid flashed a gun. He's like opened up the door to show that he had like a shotgun. I'm like,
great
that
job.
is the person I'm most terrified to ride with.
It really is, man. Well, even like the people you don't think of, like we talk about this all the time, but my mother-in-law she's mouthy.
Yeah.
In the situations, like to cops, into things like
that.
There
are those people too that you're like, you will get us in more trouble.
Like, that's not going to help. My wife gets there sometimes. I know she's listening. Babe, I love you, but
think your neighbor's listening?
Yeah.
Doubt it.
Exactly. But she'll get mouthy too, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what?
My wife surprisingly is more aggressive on the road than I ever thought.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's like I think I've said it before. I get frustrated with pedestrians that are like walking across whenever they want, stuff like that. She gets aggressive with other drivers. I'm not letting you in. And, you know, she'll just like keep the gap closed.
It's funny where people draw the line with their ego and what they think is, you know, right.
I got a big truck. I'll push you right off the road.
Yeah, I got truck nuts. Come on, man. What you?
I got the shredder lug nuts.
Yeah,
You get close to me and pop your tire.
Yeah, don't get close to my side by side. I got a Trump flag in the bag.
Exactly.
Trump and a Biden flag. I got both.
Just hoist whichever one, whatever town you're in.
You confused now.
I get right through all of them. I got
right.
flags for each side.
That's right. And then I got a rainbow flag too. I got all of them.
Yeah. Don't put the wrong one up at the wrong place.
I'll put all 3 up. I explode. Probably. Can't put them all up at once.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
One thing that you have to consider, this is a tough one too, is like your vehicle is part of the plan. It isn't the plan.
Yeah,
the
it's true.
only plan. So, and this is tough because depending on your bug out vehicle, it could be, $10,000, 180,000 mile vehicle, or a brand new $75,000 Lincoln Navigator.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah,
so it's so hard for you to like separate from
Yeah,
that vehicle.
Sure.
But yeah, that's one of the biggest things you have to consider. It's like this is like the gut check moment of where you're like, okay, I've got to let go of this vehicle. It got me this far. We've got to abandon it and transition to foot. People stay with a dead vehicle too long because they invested in it, right? It's a huge investment. They don't want to lose it. It's their protection. It's shelter. But there are points when it's like you've got to be done with it. You got to keep moving to safety, and that means abandoning the vehicle. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
And then weight versus distance math. You can fit 500 pounds of gear in a minivan, but you can only carry 30 to 50 pounds on your back. It's like I was talking about before. It's like if you're cramming it full, I mean, that might be your plan. It's like if we use it, great. If we don't, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But you have to consider if you have to go by foot and you're gonna like get rid of it all anyway or abandon it. It's like maybe you want the space or the comfort by not having it.
Yeah.
And then the slowest member, a vehicle moves is as fast as the engine. A foot move is only as fast as your youngest child. If you have a baby or your grandma or something like that, it's like abandoning that might.
Baby won't walk no faster.
Exactly.
Crawls as fast as it can crawl. I ain't picking it
Get
up.
him on his way so that when we get ready, he's already up
Send
ahead.
him first. We'll catch up.
Yeah.
Guarantee it. He's so slow.
Yes.
We'll meet up at Arby's.
Stupid babies.
All right.
They will really screw up your plan.
They do.
And then discuss the bag concept. Your large vehicle bins should contain smaller pre-packed rucksacks or rolling bug out bags. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The more that can be like packed away or easily transported and stuff is probably the things that should be put into the vehicle, not like dumping macaroni in the back. It just falls into all the spaces that you can use later.
Exactly.
I don't know. I dumped 2 boxes of elbow macaroni in here.
I've been chewing on
As
it.
long as it's there. Yeah. And then you have to consider once you step out of the vehicle, your gray man status changes. You're now more vulnerable to weather, fatigue, and other people.
Yeah.
So that, like I said, that's why those defense weapons should be easily accessed because you're going to want to take them with you.
Heck yeah.
And if you leave the rig, do you have a plan to sanitize it? Hide your remaining gear, lock down the doors. I know it sounds kind of weird, but like keeping things safe in there just in case you need to come back to it. Like think about those things because it might be something that you leave, but you end up coming back to you. Don't just start it on fire so no one else can have it. Don't leave anything to the enemy.
If I can't have this truck, nobody have it.
And your vehicle is a lifeboat, not a fortress. If the lifeboat is sinking, you don't want to go down with it. Okay, you don't want to just stay in there, let it sink. I don't want to let go of this truck.
Yeah,
it's the best truck I ever had. My daddy and I built it.
My
You gotta let it go. You
truck.
gotta let it go sometimes. I do have a question for you, Kobe, and our listeners.
Okay.
If something goes sideways tonight, does your family have a plan?
Kind of.
Are we all running? I'll figure it out along the way.
We talked about this, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. Because in a real emergency, nobody's calmly flipping through the notes like, hold on a minute. I got to find my binder. We're going to
Am I supposed to bring my wife or not? Let me look at my notes.
She's not a good navigator.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to bring her.
I don't know. She's pretty, but I don't know.
Exactly. But that's why Mad Gear has made the Ready Plan app. It's guided, so you're not starting from scratch. You answer a few quick prompts, and it generates your first emergency plan automatically. And it's on your phone, which is the thing that you're going to always have.
You're
with
staring at it all
You're
day.
going to be completely naked out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
You probably have your phone in your hand.
Ding dong hanging
That's
out,
the first
but
thing.
you got your plan. Okay.
The first thing you take with you.
That'd be a great ad.
So gear,
Just a naked dude in the desert with his plan.
Ready Plan app. Yeah.
Get it.
So gear's great, but a plan is what makes it work. You got to have that plan. So go to your app store and search Ready Plan by Mad Gear or go to readyplanapp.com.
Ready plan up.
And it will guide you to Replan app.
Replan up.
Yeah.
Ready to
and
plan
that'll
a-
guide you to it. And then you
Yeah.
can get your plan going today, and you can share it with others. That's the thing I like.
Dude,
the
you
most
got to
about
do it. You got to do
and
it.
it has some built-in AI. There is more advanced features if you want to subscribe, and if you do so, use our code Casual Preppers. It'll give you a discount.
Get it done, guys.
Yeah, there you go.
So look, you're moving. And just because you're moving here, it doesn't mean the hard part's over. And in a lot of ways, the thinking really starts.
You think
as
that's hard?
Watch it.
I got my Viagra.
I got my Viagra. The first 100 miles, they are full of decision points. A bunch of them show up real fast. Like, you know what I mean? We've talked about some of these. Do we stop for fuel? Is this route good? Or are we going to get off now? Do we keep pushing or, pull over somewhere safer for a bit? Do we turn around? Do we call somebody? All that kind
2
of
miles
stuff.
from your house.
Yeah.
I'm going to camp right here.
This is where we're camping. We got enough Arby's
We don't
sauce
wanna
to
push
last
too
a week. We're
I
good.
don't want to push too hard.
No, camping in Arby's parking lot probably.
Yeah.
Right there.
It's a great idea.
They got a kitchen and a bathroom.
People start breaking windows, I'm in there. I'm going to get as much as I can.
I'm actually gonna defend this place to death. So, all
Just
right,
throw horsey sauce in their eyes. No one wants it anyway.
it's spicy. All right. But the tricky part is you're making them while tired, stressed, distracted, probably with people in the vehicle asking questions constantly, needing something. It's not the best environment for clean thinking. And I need a good environment for clean thinking, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things you need to clean think about is information. And that's good information. And sometimes you think, well, I've made the decision, I'm just going. No.
Yeah.
You have to continue to try and gather as much information as you can. And that's why, I don't know why you wouldn't have the radio on while you were going.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably, right?
Yeah.
The local radio, trying to get those
Your kids
local
won't want to
alerts.
listen to that, though.
No.
So
I
that's the
hate
only
this.
problem.
This guy's boring. That's the president. He's talking about the end of the world. We're not listening to Taylor Swift right now. All right. That'll get you the updates for weather and traffic and all that kind of stuff. And, you can be trying to text people you trust who might have some information. All that stuff is huge because without good information, honestly, you're just guessing. It's just a big guess. Like, I don't know. And then if you went the wrong way, now you've just burned a quarter tank of gas. You know what I mean?
You went 100 miles in the wrong direction? I can't quote it.
It was close enough.
a while.
We know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And that's why like a lot of those offline tools matter so much, right? If the cell service gets weak, if towers go down, or apps stop being reliable, you still need a way to know where you are, where you can go, and what your alternatives look like. It helps to think in checkpoints instead of one giant trip. It's like, no, we're not just heading 100 miles away. Look, how are things looking at 20 miles ahead? How about 50 miles ahead? How about wherever our next fuel stop is, at the next turnoff, at the county line, all those things. That'll kind of keep you mentally engaged in trying to think about what information can I gather from here to there that will make...
I think you look at those points different, right? Because right now you just blast past them. You're like, oh, we're getting close. Now it's like, should we stop here? Should we reassess? And do we need to, or do we need to turn around?
And again, sometimes the smartest decision is not to keep going. Maybe you have to stop early, reroute, shelter somewhere temporarily. Like, it's okay if you have to do that. Like, even if it wasn't part of your plan, that's why you're continuing to gather information, because it might be the smartest thing to do.
Yeah.
And it can feel kind of frustrating, I'm sure, that you're not getting to the point where you want it to be, but you got to stay safe, right?
Maybe you got astigmatism, right?
Yeah,
Best
maybe.
you just get off the road at night,
Exactly.
sleep it out.
So, gathering that information, staying calm, we talked about being a good leader, all that stuff. Like, it's not about gear, really, most of this. It's really just about keeping a straight head, being as good of a leader in your family as you can, and making the best decisions with the best information available.
Yeah.
Very important to think about.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of...
It's the safest.
There's a lot of mistakes you can make.
Yeah,
right?
I'm going to tell you about those mistakes right
Okay.
now. First, 100 failure points. Just
gosh.
kidding. I'm not going to talk about that.
Okay.
But I have a few things to think about. So here are some of the common mistakes. The just one more thing delay. Waiting for one more news update, or waiting for a phone call, or waiting to pack one more item, or waiting for someone to go take a poop.
I'm going to have to poop in a minute, I'll bet.
Exactly.
I'm going to wait.
So that really makes a big difference if you're going to get on the road and try and get out of town. If you're delaying, 15 minutes can make a huge difference.
Sure.
The other thing is overpacking. Like like I was saying, it's like if you're going to lose a lot of comfort and overpack when these items aren't going to be able to really help you that much, that's a big. I need an extra bag of clothes. I need my blow dryer.
I need all these peanuts. Okay?
Exactly.
One bag ain't enough. I need a barrel.
All my dehydrated taters are coming with us.
That's
all
right.
of them.
Yeah.
It's the best.
All these magazines.
So it's easy to overpack.
Mm-hmm.
I do it with my Bugout bag all the time. It's like, this is my Bugout bag, and it's like an inch bag plus some.
Yeah.
Inch bag.
Blag.
Yeah. The single route obsession, trusting that the way that you know is tried and true, and it's definitely going to be the best way, may not be. And you have to consider changing that. Normalcy bias, assuming you can just stop a Maverick on the way.
Yeah.
Take a poop then,
Yeah.
get a drink, fill up. That can lead to a lot of
Burrito or a Bahama Mama.
Bahama Mama, man.
Yeah. Do they still do those?
I think they do.
Do they? Oh,
the same ones that were in the 90s are still rolling around
Yeah.
on that grill.
It's perfectly same.
They were
thing to
good,
eat.
though.
Yeah.
They were good. And then the emotional red line. This isn't a camp trip. The kids are scared. Your spouse is stressed. You are exhausted. If you haven't planned for low sugar grumpiness and sleep deprivation, you're screwed.
You are.
You have to understand it's going to be high stress. So that's where that leadership comes in. Like you said, you've got to try and be as calm as possible during this chaos.
It's on you, bro.
It's on you. And then assuming that your vehicle is much cooler than it really is.
Yeah.
I built this thing to go through rivers, streams, across oceans, across dreams.
Yeah.
So, but overestimating it might get you into trouble a lot faster. Oh, road damage. Oh, you're stuck.
I ain't scared.
And you're dead.
I got all-wheel drive.
Exactly.
Part-time all-wheel drive. Okay?
Yeah.
Get through this.
Maybe you have front lockers. It's dangerous to get out. So
true.
Think about that. Maybe you don't know you have front lockers and you've never used four-wheel drive.
And that's why he turns so horribly.
Exactly.
You ever
You're locked in the whole time?
You ever driven something with front lockers? It's horrible.
Yep. I hear them all the time turning in like Walmart. It's like, it's like, oh, that hurts.
Yeah, well, thanks a lot, Jeep.
And then the moving problem mindset. A Bugout isn't a destination. It's a dynamic relocation.
Wow.
The conditions at mile 1 will not be the conditions at mile 100. So if you treat it like a fantasy road trip, you'll be paralyzed when the reality, it's like people, this is what it's going to be like. We're going to the Green Valley and it isn't there.
The valley's not green.
So
and it's
don't
not
let
even
it
a valley.
shake you up that much.
Yeah.
Don't assume that you're going to the best location. It might be worse and you might have made a bad decision. And all of this is, all this that we've taught you is for naught because now you've made the worst decision.
A couple other things I wanted to add at the end of this that we haven't touched on yet, but they're really important. Pets.
We didn't talk about
They can
that.
complicate a bug out pretty quick, right? You got to have food, you got to have water, you got to have leashes and crates and meds and all the cleanup supplies because they poop everywhere and whatnot. That has to be part of the plan. You got to figure out what you're doing there and then think about having a super scared pet in a freaking van or something. One of them little yappy dogs. A rabid rabbit, or a hamster out of control.
Yeah, just let it go. You got elbow macaroni in the back.
You got cats that just go nuts, all that kind of stuff.
I'll be honest. My cat will be put to the test of managing the evacuated home alone.
Yeah, my cats will be the same.
They're not going to probably come.
They're going to stay home and watch the home.
Yeah.
Dog's coming with me. Cats are staying. Sorry.
I mean, if it was like going to be a fire, I'd probably take them with me and then let them go somewhere down the road.
Yeah, they'll probably be all right.
But
they can run quick.
I don't want them to burn up and locked inside the house.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to lock them in the house.
I'll let them out.
My cats live outside.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So, yeah.
It's like not having a cat.
They'll be, sort of. Except they do come in sometimes, and I don't like it because they're so
like
furry.
Not having one.
Yeah.
They don't
the
come
best
in,
of
I
both
don't
worlds.
feed them.
We do feed them, unfortunately. They eat a lot.
They do eat a lot.
Bathroom and sanitation issues.
Yeah.
Boy, if you ever been on a road trip and had this issue, you know that it's a thing, right?
And I can tell you, panic and stress is not going to lead to a nice, solid, clean turd.
You can
be diarrhea.
Lose a lot of weight from sweating in a situation like this, right? That you need element at this point. But yeah, you're going to need toilet paper and wipes and hand sanitizer, trash bags, some kind of emergency bathroom plan because you're going to get stuck in traffic and someone's going to have diarrhea.
Absolutely.
Guarantee it. So you got to figure out what you're going to do in that situation. Most likely it's just going to be pooping on the side of the road, but maybe you can have a blanket ready to block.
Oh, that's okay. It's like poop on the blanket.
Just poop on the blanket.
I don't want to get the road dirty.
The asphalt looks all clean. I don't want to poop on that.
They'll trace it back to me if I leave a poop on the side of the road.
All my kids have my DNA a little bit. I ain't letting them poop on the road. Not with the government out there. Okay?
They've been tracking my turds for a long time.
That's why
They'll know.
Poop in plastic bags, I'll bury it in my neighbor's backyard.
I got a burn pit. All my turds are burned in there.
I think they're capturing the smoke up there somewhere with a drone, but I don't know.
Low on
Yeah.
protein for sure.
Yeah, that's right. Medical needs. We haven't really talked. We talked about having a basic first aid kit, but man, maybe you rely on prescriptions or inhalers, allergy meds, insulin, all that kind of stuff. Boy, you need to figure that out.
Yep.
You just die on the road.
It's probably best to just have some backup pills in your car already.
Yeah. Viagra.
And I say that, but cars get hot and cold, right? I know the medicine expires, but I don't know, wrap it in tinfoil and put it underneath the seat.
Put it next to your poop blanket.
Exactly.
Wrap it in the middle of that sucker. Night travel changes the whole equation here.
It does. You got astigmatism, like I said.
Yeah, it's bad. Darkness, fatigue, poor visibility, all that kind of stuff. It's kind of, you just have to think about it.
It might be best to just pull off and
It might be. Yeah. Or just keep driving in the dark. Yep. Whatever you want to do. So think about that. And stops are going to be the most vulnerable part of the trip. You gas stations, parking lots, convenience stores, they get chaotic real fast. So that was a weird noise. One person fueling while the other one stays alert, right? Keep all the doors locked. It's you want to be careful in these situations because it can get hairy real quick. Yeah. So be thinking about that. Security during your stop.
Breaking in the car.
I'm pretty sure I heard someone shooting at you.
Scrolling on their phone.
But I got Minecraft going.
Someone just popped the tires.
Dad's getting beat up, Mom.
Sister got pulled out of the back window.
Oh. Who's that driving the car?
I'm not even in the same car.
This is weird. Documents and basic paperwork are going to be a big deal. IDs, insurance registration.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. Make sure you got that because it's going to be real, real important as you move on. Yeah. Those are just a couple of things I wanted you to consider.
Some last little things to remember. Yeah.
Because that's the whole deal. That's 100 miles. We got there. We lived.
It's 100 details, too.
Yeah, there's a lot of details. But there's so much to think about on a bug out. And most of the time when you're talking.
Most of the time, it's I'm just going to bug out.
Yeah.
And I'll be at that location.
Right.
You don't think about the in-between.
Well, and even when you listen to a podcast or something, it's always about this is the gear you need. I mean, there's a lot of other things to consider. That's why we wanted to do this because we hit a lot more things than just this is the gear you got to have.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's not going to be just a nice road trip. You're going to run into all kinds of problems.
100%.
Or plan on it.
Plan on it. Because it's going to happen.
Yep.
It's time for the quick and dirty medical tip.
I know I've talked about this before, but I always worry about being in a situation and crack a tooth or something.
Sure.
The dental injuries will basically clean out all of your bug out supplies because that's what it's going to cost to get it fixed.
You're probably going
to the apocalypse.
Yeah, your 401ks and all that stuff.
Yep. So here's a few items that are kind of a little more geared towards your dental emergency kit. So first of all, have some cotton balls. They actually work really good to absorb stuff in your mouth.
Blood?
Yeah, exactly. Blood for cracked tooth or anything. If you're working on a tooth or putting any oral gel or something like that, cotton keeps it all kind of isolated.
Makes sense.
So cotton balls are really helpful for your dental kit. The other thing, Oragel, toothache relief, clove oil can help in that way too. Benzocaine gel, anything topical anesthetic is going to work good for dental pain. Kind of gives you some time until you can find the dental warlord.
Or you can find an ice skate.
Yeah. What? Oh,
ice
yeah.
Right?
Just knock it out.
Knock it right out.
Knock it out. And they do have temporary filling material.
Yeah.
I haven't used this, but I remember my mom using it all the time.
I've never used it.
It's not like she was a meth head. She just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Saving money.
Sure. Why not?
I am where I am today because my mom didn't go to the dentist that often.
Exactly.
She wouldn't have. She'd have to sold me.
Yeah.
She'd have to sell me.
I need a filling because I got rid of a kid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you can definitely patch up a damaged tooth, kind
Sure.
of buy some time so that, you're not tonguing it to death, creating a cavity. Because there's a crack in your tooth.
Yeah.
The other thing, salt can be helpful to kind of create like some of the saline and salt water solutions that help reduce pain and oral bleeding.
And you got a canker sore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need some salt.
You need some salt.
And here's kind of a unique thing, black tea bags.
What?
They're not for drinking. Black tea contains lots of tannins, which have 3 key properties. They can help with oral bleeding. They can help after surgery. You boil the tea bag 2 to 3 minutes and let it cool, and then apply to the affected area.
You just like stick the tea bag in your mouth? Mm-hmm. You tea bag yourself.
You tea bag yourself, exactly.
All right.
Hemostatic, it kind of helps control bleeding. Astringent helps body tissue shrink and contract. It's kind of like, Afrin in the nose. So that's a good thing for bleeding.
Yeah.
And then it's an antiseptic. Black tea is a mild antiseptic.
That's cool.
Black tea bags.
I'm going to have to give me some of them.
I know, right?
I don't like tea, though.
I don't either. But you could drink it if you don't use it on your teeth.
That's true.
So.
Black tea sounds gross.
Interesting stuff.
Sounds like something they drink over there in the UK.
Yeah, exactly.
Those crazy
UK
suckers.
for a black tea bag.
You know what we're saying.
A black tea.
We love you, but you use kilometers in black tea. Don't get it.
I'm going to drive 5 kilometers. Went to Australia.
Oh, never mind. I don't remember Australia. Hey, we do have the latest battle box, Mission 133. And the first item in the box is the Lake Adventure Towel. This would be great for a bug out. Oh, yeah. Don't you think? Just have a nice little towel.
These are nice. I've actually...
Wipe the blood off your face.
Yeah, or poop on it.
Or poop on it.
You don't see...
That's a great poop towel. Poop
it's a poop
blanket.
Towel. Could be.
The My Medic Burn mod. Man, anytime they give My Medic stuff in here, I get excited.
Yeah, it's all sealed away. You just put it in your backpack. You're already ready to go.
My Medic Blister mod. Those are 2 great ones, man.
I did not see that.
Yeah,
I love their stuff.
I do too, man.
Best Band-Aids on the planet.
100%. The Eden Defense Pack. So this is like some cool stuff for anti-mosquitoes. They have like bracelets and patches and wristbands.
Is it all supposed to go in this pack?
I guess. I don't really know.
Tons of stuff, though.
I was thinking
freaking
that same
hate
thing.
bugs, man.
I do too. They're the worst.
Yeah.
The Haven 10,000 Lantern. Serious illumination, bro.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
You can actually charge your phone off from if you have it charged up.
Pretty rad.
That's pretty cool.
Uberleben Stoker Stove. Titanium, baby.
Yeah, these are nice because they collapse and carried around, burn some stuff.
Mikkel Williamson Rock Shock. This is a big old frickin' blade, man.
Cool looking.
Biggie.
That's a big.
That's the latest battle box. Use our code Casual Preppers. You're going to get one. We also got the Crate Club. That's pretty cool. The first item in the Crate Club is the Simple Shot Spinner Targets, a 5-pack. These are little targets for your the other item, which was the Simple Shot Scout X with pellets, right?
Nice.
It's a little slingshot,
That's
right?
Cool. Speaking of slingshots, got that in there too.
That's what I just said.
Oh, they're talking about the targets.
No.
I thought you said you use it for a slingshot.
No, it's for the slingshot. And then we have the Subtle Patriot Covert Hybrid Duffel.
I don't have enough duffel bags.
And then we got a Subtle Patriot something before, I think. Like a backpack.
Oh my gosh, I still use it today.
Yeah, you do, yeah.
That, seriously, their stuff holds up
it's great
extremely
stuff.
well. Been using it for like 3 years now.
Heaven's Harvest Seed Kit. Love having these seed kits stowed away.
You can rebuild society with these.
That's
man.
right, and that's my plan. The Tactica M250 in orange. This is a little hex drive toolkit.
I have 2 of these, and I use them all the time.
They're great, yeah. And then the PowerTac Flex Beam 1200 Lumen Adjustable Beam Flashlight.
Never can have too many flashlights.
No, you can't. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for listening. You guys are the best. Please make sure you've hit subscribe on whatever podcast platform you're using. Rate us 5 stars, okay? That's super helpful for us.
Yes.
Then also go see us on YouTube and TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and X and follow us there.
Interact with us there.
Interact with us, okay? That's all we got. Thank you so much. Stay survived.